Thinking of switching fields between your undergraduate course and your master's? No problem. Here's 5 must-haves to include in your application so that you don't miss out on top admits and scholarships. Let's go. Before we dive in, please note that these tips are majorly applicable to students who have already a certain level of sync between their undergraduate and their postgraduate studies. So for example, if you're switching from UG in electrical engineering to a master's in CS, this will be a much easier transition for you. Now, if you're switching between unrelated fields, these tips are still applicable, but they may not guarantee an admission. This is because universities who are accepting students for a master's typically require them to have certain basic level of education in fundamental courses, right? And typically at a college level, taught by a professor, taught in an institution, or even taught online, but certain prerequisite college level education. So these are usually called prerequisite courses or admission prerequisites that students have to take up. Some universities will still admit you if, let us say, your undergraduate and your postgraduate degrees are not directly in correlation, but they will ask you or require you to take these prerequisite courses before you can start the graduate level courses for that particular specialization. So for example, UB Sunny, an MS in CS at University at Buffalo Sunny, requires you to take some prerequisite courses but still allows a conditional admission into their MS in CS program. But other universities may still reject you because you don't have this basic prerequisite fulfilled. So these are important things to keep in mind when you shortlist universities. Anyway, let's dive into the 5 must-haves and look at what you can do to strengthen your application. Number 1. Ensure that there is some sync between your UG and your master's field of choice. With so much interdisciplinary research that's happening, many universities are of course becoming flexible in whom they admit into their courses, but they're also exploring research areas that are interdisciplinary in nature. So if you're interested in, let us say, an MS in CS after studying mechanical engineering, you may still be able to find courses that allow you to explore this interest in CS without actually taking a full MS in CS course, right? For example, let's take University of Massachusetts Amherst. They have interdisciplinary research opportunities within the mechanical engineering program itself, where, for example, they offer research opportunities in biomedical engineering or healthcare engineering. So try and see if you can pick courses like this, or try and find a midpoint. For example, between mechanical and CS, you can try and explore robotics. So courses like that can really be helpful to you if you don't want to go through the whole prerequisite route. But let's say with a bachelor's in mechanical, you definitely want to explore an MS in CS, then another route that you can try is to take some of these prerequisite courses yourself. Of course, it will come at a tuition fee, but you can take some of these prerequisite courses, let us say at community colleges or online programs that other universities offer for specific sub courses like algorithms or data science or programming languages, which can help you fulfill that admission prerequisite criteria. Now remember, I am not talking about courses on Coursera or Udemy. Those certification courses will not hold value. You will need to get courses with credits which are typically given at a college level instruction. So that is very important to note. Number 2 is to build relevant practical experience in the field you're interested in. So if you are already in college, what you can do is try and take up internships or research projects in the fields that you're interested in. Try and collaborate with professors or departments or students from departments that you're interested in and work on interdisciplinary projects, which will really boost your application chances. This doesn't automatically help you become eligible for admissions, but it can definitely make you eligible for the next point, which is work experience. So try and opt for jobs that allow practical exposure into the field that you're interested in. For example, if you studied civil engineering in your undergraduate degree, but you've spent 3 years at a tech startup implementing breach protocols, then you have a high chance of getting into courses like information systems, which are directly related to the work experience that you have at hand. Of course, if you worked as a web developer, then this switch will be much harder for you to make. So make sure that the work experience you're taking up is absolutely relevant to the course you have in mind. Number 4, write a great SOP. Your SOP is a wonderful opportunity for you to tell your story and your motivation to the university admissions committee, and you should absolutely make use of this opportunity. So first, try and get into in detail about whatever coursework you have taken, especially where there is sync between your UG and your masters. Make sure that you highlight that in your SOP. Next, describe in detail about why you're motivated or how you came up to be motivated in the course that you're interested in. This introspection will also come in handy when you're sitting at the visa interview, because you're sure to be asked why you're switching fields if you're doing so. And lastly, definitely talk in detail about what practical experience you have taken in this field that you're interested in. An additional pro tip is to back up this SOP with an LOR from the relevant industry. For example, that could be a professor from the department you're interested in who directly supervised you on a research project, or it could be an LOR from a manager whom you worked with when you were getting this relevant work experience. Remember, the more sync you're able to show, the better your chances. Number 5, ensure you have great test scores. When you're switching majors and academics is proving to be a question mark, strengthening all other parts of your application will definitely have a positive effect. So work hard towards making sure that your undergraduate GPA, if you still have control over it, is in the high 8s and 9s out of 10. Make sure that your GRE scores are well above the average that the university is expecting, and likewise with your IELTS and your TOEFL scores. If you're curious to know what your admission chances will be for a particular course into a particular university, you can do that with the Yocket app. Just sign up and create your entire profile. Choose the specific university and course that you're interested in and click on the Admit Predictor. That will give you an idea of your admission chances based on past admission history and data from our older students. And that's it. These are some tips to help you when you are switching majors. If you found this video useful, hit like, share it with friends who are looking to switch majors, and subscribe, because we will be making more such videos on helpful topics for study abroad aspirants on this channel. If you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask us, or have us make a video on, make sure you comment below. We will respond either as a comment or create a video on the same. That's about it from me on this topic. I will see you soon in a new video, but until I see you next time, this is Shruti signing off. Ta-da!